What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another video, and today is the day we have a lot of people that are very, very happy. I woke up this morning, checked my comments, and there are just a bunch of people letting me know that they've started to receive their stimulus checks. So we're going to take a look at some of these comments as well. We're also going to talk about this plus up. So I know people have been hearing about this plus up, so we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about what's next. So this is a big thing. I did a video yesterday talking about the budget reconciliation and how they're able now to do another budget reconciliation this year. Actually, they can do 2 more this year. So we're going to talk about that. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please hit the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go over to my comments here. And I just want to show you some of the comments that we've received. The first one I think is really good is "It Posted." I think that's going to be my title to this video. So there are a lot of people letting us know, look, we got ours this morning. I received all 3 of my stimulus checks. Now I'm gonna come back to this because I think this is something good to discuss when it comes to the plus up, and that could be what happened here with Ann. Then we have here, mine was direct deposited in my account today at 3 a.m. And a lot of people have told me 3 a.m. They checked 3 a.m. and it showed posted 3 a.m. So that's good. I got my stimulus direct express. And so this, I mean, I'm telling you, I just kept going down the list and everyone is letting me know that they received their checks. Now, there have been some people that have let me know that, you know what, I did not receive my check. And I even got on the Get My Payment portal and it's showing that they don't have the correct information, or there's no information in the system. So there are people that have not received their stimulus checks. Okay, so a vast majority of people, I think they're receiving their stimulus checks, but we do have some that have not. And so my recommendation, if you are in that category where you have not received your stimulus check yet, first thing you want to do is you do want to go over to the Get My Payment portal to see what it's showing. Now, if it's showing that you have not received it and they don't have any information to move forward, my recommendation for you is, if you have not filed your taxes, file your taxes. Even if you've never filed your taxes before or you haven't filed it in years, file your taxes. Go to a tax professional, ask them how to move forward with that if you want to do that. You can also do it yourself. There is free software out there for you to do it, to file a 1040. But you want to do that because once you file your taxes, that will put you in a situation where now the IRS has your information and then they can move according to your information. And also, I would give it a little bit more time because they're still mailing out checks. So you might receive a check via mail. So you might have received a direct deposit before, but you might get it mailed this time. So I would wait a little bit, give it a little bit of time. And if you haven't received anything, I mean, it's always okay to file your taxes because that might speed things up, speed the process up, but also wait. So if you didn't receive it today, you might receive it in the coming days. And also VA beneficiaries. I've had one VA beneficiary that's let me know, yes, I received my stimulus check today. However, the vast majority, if you're a non-filer, you probably haven't received it yet, and you probably will receive it next week. Let's hope. They're saying mid-April. We have not received any information from the IRS yet giving us a date, but that's what we're looking at when it comes to the people who have not received their stimulus checks yet. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about this plus up because people have been hearing about this plus up. So basically the way this is working is, let's say you filed your taxes in 2019 and you did not qualify for stimulus checks because let's say you made too much money. Well, what they're doing is they are looking at your 2020 taxes. So if you file your 2020 taxes and let's say you qualify for all 3 stimulus checks in this 2020 taxes, a lot of people, they might have been working in 2019, but they lost their job in 2020 due to COVID. And so now they're in a whole different bracket when it comes to the income that they've made. And so because of that, now we're looking at a situation where they do qualify for all 3. Well, guess what? The IRS, they're going to go ahead and do the plus ups. They're going to send these checks out to you. Let's say the $1,200 that you would have received in the CARES Act, you didn't qualify for that because your 2019 taxes, you made too much, but now you qualify for it. Guess what? You're going to get the $1,200 stimulus check. And if you qualify for the $600 stimulus check, you're going to get that one as well. And then if you qualify for the $1,400 stimulus check, you'll get that. And you might get it all together. And so that's what we're looking at right now when it comes to these plus ups. I'm sure a lot of people who filed 2019 taxes and did not qualify will be happy to know that their 2020 taxes are looking at those, and they'll go ahead and send out those stimulus checks for those people. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is what is next? What's next when it comes to stimulus? And I did a video, and I can pull this up. I did this video yesterday. Let me pull up this chart here. So I talked a little bit about what we're looking at when it comes to the future. And now budget reconciliation is back in play. And so we're looking at a situation where we saw budget reconciliation for the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. It will now be possible for the infrastructure bill to be budget reconciliation. So when I say budget reconciliation, I'm just saying majority vote. So 51 votes is what we're looking at now. And also the part 2, so we're talking part 1 and part 2 of the infrastructure bill can be budget reconciliation. And then they can also look at a 4th stimulus if they need it. Okay, so that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at a situation where we can see budget reconciliation 3 more times in 2021, 2022. And so all they need is a majority vote. Now, I know you might be asking yourself, well, what's going to be in these next bills? Well, the plan is that I'm going to continue doing videos talking about what's going on when it comes to the next stimulus. And so the infrastructure bill, that will be one. Also, if they do plan to do another stimulus package, of course, I'm going to be following that as well. Now, this might not be direct payments, okay? I think the direct payments at this point are probably not going to happen, but there's going to be assistance in all these different bills. And so we need to follow that. And I think with the stimulus checks, the fact that you didn't have to do anything to receive a stimulus check, a lot of people were interested in it because it's like, okay, we don't have to do anything. We just need to follow it and see when it happens. But I think what's more important is that we follow some of these different proposals and some of these different bills that go through when there's action that you need to take. And when I can put that information out and say, look, free college tuition or free childcare, this is what you have to do, that will help a lot of people as well. So it might not be a direct payment, but it will be something that will help you financially. And so that's what we're going to be looking at in the future here. We know that infrastructure bill, they're talking about things like free college. They're talking about things like childcare. So these are things that we need to follow. We also know in this last stimulus package that they just passed that there's going to be a child tax credit that's increased to $3,000 or $3,600, depending on how old your child is. That's more stuff that we need to follow. So there's a lot of stuff that's out there for the American people. However, we need to make sure that we share this information with everyone so they know that they can take advantage of some of these different programs. And this is something that corporations do all the time. That's what they do. They follow these bills and they find these different little loopholes, or they find these different programs and they take full advantage of it. Corporations will hire lobbyists, and a lobbyist's job is to lobby Congress and to find out what's going on and how different politicians feel about different bills, and get those bills passed to help the corporations. That is their sole job as a lobbyist. And these corporations will hire them on just to do that. They'll also hire these lobbyists to create these bills. They will create the corporations will create the bills, send them to Congress, and the Congress people will bring these same bills to the floor. And sometimes they don't even change the letterhead, so it has the company letterhead on the bill. That's happened before, as crazy as that sounds. And so we need to be taking action as well. The American people need to take action as well. And when we see things that we want our Congress people to implement, we need to let them know. And when a congressperson says, you know what, yeah, $200 raise, that would be something good, we need to hold them accountable to that. We need to let them know, okay, you know what, you said this $200 raise would be good for Social Security. What happened to that? You said $15 an hour minimum wage would be good. What happened to that? And if you hold their feet to the fire, hopefully you can get a good outcome, or at least get them talking about it. And then you can find out the politicians who are against this. And that's when your vote really counts, because that's when you get in there and you say, okay, you know what? You're against a $15 an hour minimum wage. I don't like that. So I'm going to vote against you. And I'm going to vote for the person who wants that. or I'm going to vote for the person who is for the $200 raise for Social Security. So that's how you have to maneuver. And corporations have been doing it forever. And corporations don't vote, but they do have money, and they do fund some of these different politicians, their campaigns. And that has a big effect, because if you don't have money nowadays to run a campaign, it's hard to win. And so they know that. They use that leverage. Corporations use that leverage. The leverage that the American people have is we have the vote. We can vote these politicians in or out of office. And so I want to know what you guys think. So let me know down below. Also, I'm going to do a poll, and I'll post a link in the description here, but I am going to do a poll, and I want to know if you receive your stimulus check today. So let me know in that poll. That's all I have for you guys today. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Hit that little bell notification. We're going to have a lot of videos coming out in the future talking specifically about this infrastructure bill, because this infrastructure bill, it's not just roads and bridges. We're talking about stimulus in this bill as well. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.